The Story of Lucifer. Before humanity ever walked the earth, there existed only creation in its purest form, light, order, and purpose. God created the angels as beings of intellect and will, formed not of flesh but of spirit, each reflecting a fragment of divine intent. Among them was Lucifer, whose name meant light-bringer, a being of extraordinary brilliance and wisdom. He was adorned in splendor, moving freely in the presence of God, entrusted with great responsibility and aware of his own magnificence. In his perfection, however, something began to change. Lucifer did not simply admire the beauty he had been given. He began to believe it originated from himself. Pride took root, subtle at first, then consuming. With full awareness and free will, he questioned why any being should exist above him. And when the future of creation was revealed, one in which humanity, fragile and material, would be raised to share in divine life, Lucifer refused to accept it. He would not serve a design where beings he saw as lesser were destined for communion with God. In his rebellion, he chose himself over unity and sought to ascend beyond his place, declaring his will to rival the Most High. Lucifer did not stand alone in this choice. Other angels, persuaded by his reasoning and brilliance, followed him, and what followed was a conflict not of weapons, but of allegiance, a war of truth against defiance. The loyal angels, led by Michael, stood firm, and Lucifer's rebellion collapsed under its own contradiction. Cast out of heaven, he fell from the light he once carried, stripped not of existence, but of grace. In that fall, Lucifer became Satan the adversary, and those who followed him became demons, beings defined not by their power, but by their separation. Creation continued without pause. The universe unfolded, the earth was formed, and life emerged. Then humanity was created beings of dust and breath, body and spirit, capable of love, reason, and choice. Placed in Eden, humans lived in harmony with God and creation, free but unbroken. Watching from outside that harmony, Satan turned his attention toward them. He could not destroy what God had made, nor could he force humanity to fall, but he could tempt them with the same lie that had undone him, that freedom and self-rule without obedience, that knowledge without humility could make them equal to God. Appearing as the serpent, he introduced doubt, and when humanity chose disobedience, innocence was lost. The world did not become evil, but it became wounded death. Suffering and division entered human existence. And so, before humanity even began its long history, the shadow of Lucifer's choice already loomed over it. His story became a warning written into the fabric of creation, that even the brightest can fall, that freedom without humility leads to separation, and that pride, once chosen, reshapes destiny forever.